Hey everyone, it's Mike with It's Pittsfield Tonight. I'm going to jump right into it, and I'm going to start with a topic that I'm certain many of you have already heard, and it's a sad situation. But on this past weekend, the body of a 32-year-old man was discovered at the Pittsfield State Forest, and the district attorney's office did confirm yesterday that it was a homicide and that the individual died of multiple gunshot wounds. Very sad story. Prayers and condolences to his family and friends. That being said, when I posted that to the page, it was right around the same time all the other media outlets posted it. And I'd always go and look at everyone's social media pages to see what the comment sections say. No one commented on the one I posted. There was a few comments on our local print publications Facebook page. And then I go to all our politicians' social media pages to see what they're saying. And that's where I'm going to tie this story into a lot of other issues. Because, in my opinion, all these problems, to address the big problems that we see affecting our community, and yes, there are issues that are happening nationwide, but this is what's happening in Pittsfield. And when you want to address problems, you don't worry about what's happening everywhere else. And I'm not saying that they're not symbiotic, that one doesn't affect the other. But you have to start by addressing things in your own backyard first. And one of the biggest failures, in my opinion, that we have in the city is the neglect from our local government with our Pittsfield public school systems. Because we're not teaching civics correctly in the public school systems. We're not engaging with that. We're not addressing the issues with violence, which we need to do through better counseling, more effective, more counselors, school resource officers in the school. And we're not supporting the teachers that we have. And that's a very, very sad situation. We have some incredible teachers in our public school systems. And when they are still without a contract, when all the faculty and staff are without a contract, from the cafeteria workers on up to all the faculty, all our teachers are still trying to negotiate. They're on the lower end of the pay scale in the county. I think they're ranked 8th. We have the second, our Pittsfield public school systems now are ranked by the state as underperforming. We have the second highest choice out rate in the state, which is costing the city millions of dollars. It's a very sad situation. And we have some incredible teachers. And unfortunately, we're losing more and more teachers every year. So there's another sad scenario. Every time we lose a seasoned teacher, it's just amazing how that's not getting more attention put on that. All these issues need to start in the public school systems with educating. And step one is city government supporting our teachers. The school committee giving more support to our teachers. You take the situation with the violence that happened at Taconic High School. So it was briefly covered because a lot of people talked about it, including myself. And there was a video that came out. There was a few kids, students I'm assuming, that filmed it on their phones. And it got posted, and a lot of people saw how horrible that fight was and saw that there was a couple teachers injured in that fight. So the school situation was, we'll suspend those students, and also anyone from that point forward getting caught filming a situation on their phone, that they would be suspended also. And that really infuriated me, because I don't know if they were implying that the fight happened so other children could film it. I don't know what they were implying, but if that hadn't been filmed by students and hadn't been posted to YouTube, the public would not have known. And that was a bad one. And if you talk to parents and other students, you'll hear that that's a regular thing that's happening in our schools. And Taconic High School has gained a very bad reputation for that. Suspending is, I don't know, that's 1950s mentality. And yes, you do have to punish bad students when those situations are happening. But you have to have the resources in place. You have to have better counseling. You have to have all those school resource officers, which they put they hired a consultant, I guess, to study it, and we'll find out in the spring if they think a resource officer is a good situation, which is appalling. I mean, I can't believe that's their solution. Let's spend more money on another consultant. I get that we have a shortage of police officers. I think we're down to where we were, I don't know, 8 years ago. I know this administration's platform, our current mayor, Mayor Tyre, we have to have more police officers. That was the first time she ran. That was the focal point, really, of her campaign. She kept repeating over and over and over that a city of our size should have 120 police officers, and that it was unacceptable for her predecessor that at that time we only had 89 police officers. And she said it was disgusting, it was failing the city and everything else. And I think we're less than 89 now. But regardless of that, I mean, that's another issue. But here's the situation, and again, it boils back to the schools. When I go to, like, social media outlets when something happens, and I want to see on other pages what people are commenting. I always go to the politicians' pages also when something happens to see what they're saying, because you do have some in the community, some radio stations that'll tell you social media is killing everything, and no, it's just the days of radio are slowly fading away, and days of cable are slowly fading away. And social media has become, especially during this past year and a half, one of the best ways for people to communicate directly with each other. And when things happen, you can find out instantly and from multiple sources and kind of get your own opinion from what you're seeing. So, you know, when other outlets, when other media channels say that social media is destroying things, that no, maybe they're just trying to protect their own career. I'm not sure what it is, but that's very likely. But when you go to the politicians' pages, you know, social media is such a powerful tool and can be used to engage people, get people involved, support these issues, get people involved. Our teachers are so neglected. We're missing the big picture here. And we have teachers that spend so much money out of their own pocket, that care so much about what they're doing. They're there for the students through and through. And as each year goes by, though, we're losing more and more and more because of the problems in the school, from the pick of superintendent to keeping the game the same, you know, without embracing change, without embracing diversity. We hear that preached, you know, anytime it's an election year, you'll hear, oh, diversity and equity, but they never actually act on it. Just like what we just saw for the mayor's picks for the co-managers of the ARPA funds. It's odd to me that we have to have co-managers, 2 of them. Rather than posting that as a position available and letting anyone apply, no, the mayor's friends were picked, and there was no diversity, there was no equity, there was no opportunity even for that. Because I've said this in multiple times, if those 2 choices from the mayor were the best choices and the most qualified, then so be it. But they should had applied to that position after everyone else also did. And if those end up being the picks based off qualifications, then so be it. But anyway, back to the schools. Because social media, from our city councilors to our school committee members to City Hall, could be used to engage with the community, to get more support going, to get people of understanding where we need to put more of our resources in our school system, to support our teachers, which ultimately supports the students and helps lower crime, lower drug use, all those things. provides a better education, more successful students, it boosts the economy. There's so many good things that can come out of that. And rather than having the second highest choice out rate in the state, we'd have students choicing in, and the city would earn money by students coming into our community to attend our schools. And it starts with supporting the faculty and staff in the schools. I mean, it's an obvious answer. You obtain the most qualified teachers, counselors, staff in those schools, and everything will start to flourish from that. And that's how it's directly tied to crime and everything. You know, I reported the other day that the Keenan House for Women, which is run and operated by the Breen Center, is closing as of January 1st, and that is horrible. And I've heard it is from related to staffing issues, but that's another one. That why are we not educating? Why are we not putting more of a focus in our school systems on educating on the effects of substance abuse, preventative forums for students? Why are we not educating more on civic responsibilities, being engaged in local elections, volunteering? And to do that, our city councilors, our school committee members, our mayor should be in the schools, should be seen by the students, should be participating in these things. You know, there's city councilors that you can go to their Facebook page and they'll tell you what they ate for dinner every night and how delicious it was. Why not use that platform to do good? Or a picture of a dog and call it Dog of the Week. And I know people love pets and all that's great, but why not use that platform to engage with these local issues, to volunteer, to get people involved, to educate the community? It falls on the backs of the politicians, and it can all be done through social media. All of it. We need to hear more. And I'm telling you, the root of most of these problems we see can be addressed through the public school systems. And it starts by supporting the teachers and making sure that we are providing the best educators for the future of the city. I mean, it's common sense. Education is the first and foremost thing to preventing anything bad. And we're not putting the resources there. And I think that's a direct tie to violence, drug use, teen pregnancy, everything. When there's problems with a student and there's problems in that child's home, don't think the other students don't know it. They know it. And that's when, you know, the parents who are doing things right need to engage with the teachers and say, hey, there's another student in this class that we're concerned about, without pointing the finger at the student as the bad person, but figuring out what we need to do to remedy that situation and lead that child down a healthy, good path, finding out what exactly is going on. Suspension isn't the solution. Telling kids they can't film an incident on their phone or they'll be suspended also, I don't even know how that's constitutionally okay. I mean, every horrible incident we've seen in schools throughout the country, the public was informed by what was filmed on phones. So to threaten students, that's, you know, what happened to see something, say something? This is more like see something and keep it to yourself or you're going to get kicked out too. And that's how it came across. So anyway, I'm going to continue with a series on this, supporting our teachers, supporting our school. Unfortunately, a lot of teachers that I've wanted to have come on the show, they can't. They fear backlash from the city and they don't want to lose their jobs. So I understand that. I don't agree with it, but I understand it. And that's another reason why I'm running for mayor. That kind of nonsense will not happen if I get elected mayor. I can promise you that. We need to put more of an emphasis on that. We need to stop the whole bullying in city government. And if a city councilor or the mayor or somebody can tell you what they ate for dinner, they sure as hell can tell you what's going on and how to be part of a group or be part of a solution. And get out there and volunteer themselves and lead by example. That's what you're elected for. So anyway, that's it on that topic. I'm working on the business tour all this week. I have a lot of great businesses that I'm stopping by that I'll be featuring, and I'm excited about that. Everyone support your small businesses. Our local Pittsfield businesses are the ones who support the entire community. They employ people, they give to our charities and causes. They're our city. You know, without our local businesses, we're nothing. So shop local, support local businesses. Check out the videos I did. I did a great one with Rick Store, who's the owner of RJ Store, Diamonds and Fine Jewelry. And I also posted one with the Robbins family, wonderful family, great people, and they're the owners of Pittsfield Rye Bakery and Specialty Breads. So check that one out. The GoFundMe, I still have that posted. Anything anybody can give, $5, $10, 10 million bucks, whatever you can give to help, just helps continue the page. I do 2 of those a year. So anyway, that's it on all that. Everyone stay safe. It's going to be a little wet today, but warm. So stay safe, and I'll catch you all tomorrow.